when we tried that system for the first time, I got a text saying, I'm putting my washing out, I can hear you from my house.
There was the odd occasion where, I'm jumping around like a football fan. I forgot that I was going to be there. And somebody would say, you haven't announced the goal yet. Oh, well, I better do that. So,
Good afternoon!
Ross Stewart is, I think, a nice name to announce.
Oh, honestly, when I met Ross Stewart, I thanked him for elevating my personal brand.
So as it died down, the analyst said to me, actually, it was an own goal. And I went, bleep that, give me the mic. Goal scorer for Leighton Orient.
You are damaging the pitch. We have a game against Brighton on Sunday.
He said 10,000 of them all love you. 10,000 of them will hate you. And 10,000 of them won't give a about you. And I went, I like those odds.
Welcome to another edition of We Welcome Your Teams. We're back chatting to another stadium announcer. Along with me, Rich Hurst from West Brom, our regular co-host from Manchester United. This is Mr. Alan Keane. How are you doing, Alan?
Doing really well, thank you, Rich. It's been a wonderful sort of wonderful competition. I like County Yorkshire. Been in Yorkshire today,
okay.
So
nice.
That's been an interesting visit for me. I passed Ellen Road as I was
Did
going
you?
into, yeah.
That can't have been easy.
No, I closed my eyes when I was on the motorway.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
so
enough.
I got through it, but yeah.
Good to see you back in one piece.
Yeah, back
Nice.
in one piece, mate.
Yeah, well done. I am going to get our guest on, and I'm going to do it by playing their intro music to start with. This is the music their teams walk out to, and it's a team after my own heart because it's the exact same music we use at West Brom. So stand by. Let's bring in today's guest.
Here we go. We're back with another podcast of We Welcome Your Teams with your host Rich and co-host Alan. Ladies and gentlemen, from Portman Road, it's Dave Vant. Thank you so much for having me, gents. How are we?
A new phrase I've learned since following Dave on Instagram. Up a tower.
Up a tower indeed, Rich. How are you, my man?
Very good. So how long have you had Faithless ever since you've been at Ipswich?
Since my time at the club, yes, that's been the walkout song, and
It's a
the fans react well to it.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It is. We toyed. I know. I can count the times on one hand where we thought about maybe changing it, and we tried it, and whoa, yeah.
If it's not broken,
It's not happening. It ain't.
yeah.
Oh,
sure.
man.
Great
Dave, it's
track.
good to have you here. We've all been I've been following on Instagram for a long time with the bits and bobs you post from Portman Road. There has been obviously since you've been in the WhatsApp group, there's been plenty of back and forth with everybody in there. So Ipswich Town, some great fortunes over the last few years. When did your time start there?
So my time started about this will be the fourth season I've been with the club. So 3 seasons ago was when I first started. And boy, it's been some journey. That's for sure.
Mean, that's pretty good timing, to be fair.
Yeah. 100%. You can say that again.
For interesting times. Is it how it all got started for you in stadium announcing?
Well, not really. It's a bit of a story. I'll try and keep it brief, but my first time stadium announcing was for Cambridge United Football Club. But the way I got into announcing wasn't exactly going through the announcing way that you would do. I was actually at a business networking event on a Wednesday morning at 6:30, sipping my coffee, and we all had to stand up and present our businesses and what we sold, essentially. And we got referrals from other people in the room. And a gentleman called Ollie Kane, who owned a videography company, came over to me after the meeting and said, Dave, I thought you presented really well there. We're actually looking for a presenter to bring the match day to supporters at Cambridge United Football Club because COVID's happened and they can't come to the games. Would you be open to coming for an interview? I bit his hand off. I said, absolutely, that sounds fantastic. So I went in and I met with Tom Stewart, who was the head of media at the time, head of communications, and I got offered the job. So that first season was the season where Paul Mullin broke the records for the most goals. We got promoted from League 2 to League 1, and it was my first experience of presenting, essentially. Following on from that, fans were allowed back into the ground, and Cambridge approached me and said, would you like to be our stadium announcer? I'll be honest, at the time, I thought, well, I do really enjoy the camera work. Can I sort of keep that gig? But as soon as I did the first game announcing for them, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the reaction from the fans, the energy I didn't know I had inside of me. And it was just an incredible way to build my foundations of being a stadium announcer. The way I got involved with Ipswich was I did the whole business way of doing business, I guess. And I went on LinkedIn and connected with all the people within Ipswich. Ipswich is my club. I supported them since I was a young boy. And the day before the game where Ipswich came to Cambridge, I added them all on LinkedIn, spoke to them at Cambridge and just said, any opportunity to work with you guys would be a dream come true. And it just so happened that the following week on Tuesday, the stadium announcer, Foz, caught COVID. So I got a call around 8 o'clock in the morning from, I believe it might have been Marcus. He said, look, the stadium announcer's got COVID. Do you fancy a gig with us, sort of thing? So I said, absolutely. Well, I called Cambridge, confirmed they were okay with it. They said it was okay. Then I went and did it. It was against Lincoln on a Tuesday night. What the club didn't tell me straight away until I got there was that I was going to have to go onto the pitch right in the middle and do a speech about Ukraine and how football stands together, right? And I'm used to the 5,000 seats at the Abbey Stadium, and there's 29,000 in the crowd, and I'm in the middle of the pitch doing a really, really important speech. It went really well. So a few months later, the club got back in contact and asked me if I wanted to have a job with them. It wasn't stadium announcer to begin with, but that was sort of the start of my journey, which isn't, in my opinion, in my experience, a very generic one, Big way to get into stadium announcing.
I'd agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, because I suppose a lot of the guys we speak to in some respects are, they're DJs or something like that, like me, like I was for a little while. We were on the radio and ended up going to have an association with the club, and then everything kind of snowballs from there. But I love that you were there just, doing the day job, and this just comes up out of nowhere. So which was the more nerve wracking, the first game at Cambridge or the first game at Ipswich?
The first game at Ipswich, yeah. But it was very positive nerves. Like the nerves that I had then for that game was more excitement. I walked in and I said hello to everyone, from the stewards to the binmen to the fans to the team. Like, I was just saying hello to everyone because I just thought to myself, if I say hello to everyone, everyone's already heard my voice. Okay, so I could breathe a little bit. All right. Yeah. But it was just amazing. It really was a dream come true getting that phone call. Something that I'll be forever grateful for.
What else do you do, Dave? I mean, do you have another job, as they say? Because people say to us on a regular basis, don't they? Or sometimes, like in many cases, people have said to think it's my full-time job because it's Man United, but obviously it isn't. Most of us, and I think if not all, unless they're retired, they all have another job. So, what was your proper job that paid the bills?
Well, it's still the same sort of job now. So I work in business development, and my job role now is a national development manager for a company called Kuehne + Nagel. They're a global freight forwarder, competitors of the likes of DSV, DHL. And I suppose the positivity that I put into the stadium announcing, I also put into sales. Smile before you dial, all those sort of things that come natural. I love talking to people. I love making. You're doing that. I love making people smile. And I think that's what.
Before you dial, I like that.
Do you like that? Yeah.
I'm going to steal that one. That's good.
It's the same with anything, though, isn't it? Like, your positivity can speak volumes sometimes. Life's too short to be negative. You've just got to enjoy your journey. And, like you say, the stadium announcing gig, of course, it's not going to cover the bills. I've got a wife and daughter, so I need to make sure that the overheads are paid so my daughter can have the best life ever. But for me, when I get home from a match day, because she's only 3, so she hasn't come to a game yet. She's just turned 3. When I show her the videos or whatever I've posted on social media and seeing her go, "That's Daddy," it's like a goal announcement. That feeling, it's just amazing.
It's got to be, and to be after that little spell, sort of, I suppose, learning the ropes a bit at Cambridge, then be doing it at your club. I mean, did that? It means, I suppose, you've got an opinion of what the role's like before you do it, haven't you?
It's very, you're spot on, it is, but it's also very different. See, at Cambridge, it was a much smaller club, so I would do the music, I would pick the right times to announce, whereas Ipswich is very structured, and it's got everything that you would possibly desire from a professional football team. You know, I've got a floor manager who's absolutely incredible and supports me with helping the right substitutions, all of the right things. Dave, you're live, let's go. I'm sure you guys have the same. It's just, it's brilliant to have. There's a DJ that I work really closely with on a match day, and there's sort of a synergy between all of the team at Ipswich, where at Cambridge, as much as I had as much support as I needed, it was also down to me to organise. So I think I learnt the foundations, and the experience certainly came from doing a lot myself, but being able to have the support of the team I have now at Ipswich, which are genuinely the most talented people I've ever worked with in my entire career, both business and in presenting, you know, I feel like I can't go wrong. They back me and they trust me. And equally, I trust them to make sure that I'm doing the right thing too. So it's a perfect synergy.
You mentioned a lot of the social media stuff you do there. So you shared around in the WhatsApp in the announcers group the day in the life video that you've done, and you know a couple of the guys have tried these now. I know Dave at Huddersfield did one with his Meta glasses on.
That was cool.
And yeah, and you've done that one on Instagram. For anyone who's not seen it, I urge you to go to Dave's Insta and watch it. I'm going to bring you a small clip here because this is a great little bit of it. That is probably the thing that pricked my interest up the most.
Okay, so we're back again with another day in the live video. So here we go. We arrive to the ground, check ourselves in, and of course we start with an energy boost. Grab the script and get some caffeine on the go. Fancy the Americano today, not on a health kick or anything, just fancy the black coffee. So yeah, we got that.
That was and straight away one of the first top comments, wasn't it? Oh, you get free tea and coffee.
Yeah, it was.
So Richie loves a freebie, Dave.
Yeah.
I just, you know, it's nice. You know, I've only since discovered. I think I've said this on an episode before, and I should probably keep my trap shut. But and now if I want like Bovril tea or coffee, I've managed to find my way into the photographer's room where it's free, and you just fill up and take it away. You know, it's amazing what carrying a clipboard and a walkie-talkie will do.
Yeah,
but walking around a football stadium, isn't it?
What you do, Rich, you start off in the photography room. Once you've worked your way in there, and then the next step is the press room.
Yeah,
and they're the next level.
That's where the sandwiches really are. Yeah.
So that's where the the hot food's available, along with the Bovril tea and coffee, mate. So you want to be heading towards the press room, pal.
I'll pluck up the courage maybe next season, and I can just. The problem is I've been there like 11 years now. I can't pretend I got lost, can I? And just I didn't realise this was in here. Oh, well, whilst I'm here, I'll just grab a plate of that. Yeah. Are you well looked after, Dave? Are you well catered for?
Yeah, the team look after me, and I don't ask for much. To be fair, I just say, give me the energy boost I need, and I'll deliver the energy that you need for the match day. So they look after me.
It's a good trade. It's a good
100%, 100%.
Good trade. There's a lot to pick from that video. There's the sprint from the pitch up to the PA box that you do as soon as you've finished our duties on the pitch as the game starts.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've noticed, and this is where this is what I thought put you in like Alan Keegan levels, was the suited and booted look.
Always got
you can't look the part.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you, lads.
Honestly, the shiniest of shoes and the 3-piece just worked. It just worked, and it did make me think. Have I let standards slip my end in the last few years?
Listen, you've got to look the part, haven't you, Dave?
I think it's one of them ones where you feel the part, you be the part. That's that, and everyone's different, right? Rob Chandler, who was the stadium announcer that I would watch growing up, supporting Ipswich, he is, my hero, and he helps me today. He'll give me a call after a match day, and we'll discuss things. But he always used to dress really casual. But for me, if I was to dress casual, I wouldn't feel like I'm delivering that dream job. It's just a mental thing, isn't it, Alan? Like, it just helps you somehow. You feel like you're part of it. Personally,
definitely. I mean, obviously, I've had the odd, slight sidestep, as we know, when we're promoting Adidas and the Stone Roses. But overall, you've got to make an impression, as you say. I'm disappointed you've not got a slogan for that as well, because I'd have stolen that one. You'll have to think one in the suit. something.
Watch this space. Watch this space. Yeah. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, in the suit and feel the whatever. But
something like that.
I think it's on one of them things, if I may. When I got involved with the club and they asked me to come and work for them, it was in the fan zone, so an area outside of the stadium that holds, well, at the time it was around 3,000 to 4,000. It has increased slightly. Interview ex-players, injured players, and sort of get involved with the crowd as well. From doing that, I always wore a suit. Then the following season, I got involved with hospitality as well. Post-game, we would interview the player of the match, make sure the room were, having a good time. If we would win, I say, ladies and gentlemen, got something about back pocket. It's 3 points and all that sort of thing to get everyone going and have a good time, right?
Hey, Rich is going to be stealing that one.
There you go. There's another one for you. Oh, these are all free, gentlemen. They're all free. No, it's one of them where, because I was always suited and booted, and it's something that I've wanted to make sure never slips, right? Because it's what I started with at the club, developed with, and then when I got offered the job as stadium announcer, it was like, right, I can't let any standard slip now because I've set the precedent. It's got to happen.
You say no. Honestly, I mean, obviously, I do still have my club suit and club tie. That all comes with me. I suppose I've just been adding layers, changing footwear here and there, just for the sake of it. But it makes me think maybe it's time to just
switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, just come back up a little. But generally, the social media stuff. What is the reaction? What's the reaction been like when you've seen fans support you as you go along and grown that?
Yeah, I think, look, a lot of people will use social media for different things. They might want to grow their personal social media to get further gigs or sponsorship deals, whatever it may be. For me, I absolutely adore the job I do. I absolutely love the football club. I love the team, and I'm thoroughly blessed to do what I do. And me being able to do these things, I feel like it just gives back to the supporters that might not see those behind the scenes side of things. It's not to sort of overdo it. Personally, I always just double check with the club and just say, what your thoughts on this, and go from there. But the actual response and feedback has been phenomenal. Not so much on the comments and engagement side of things, but actual, young supporters that will come up to me and go, I saw your video, when are you doing another one? Things like that, and a couple of people that would send me messages afterwards saying, thank you so much for this. I've been going to the club for 30 years and never knew what the PA room looked like or where it was. And I suppose you forget that when you're a supporter and you go and you hear, your voice, Rich or Alan, you think to yourself, where are they? Well, Alan, you're quite obvious, but you know what I mean? And same with you, Rich, to be fair.
Man's got a lectern, for goodness sake. He's got his own lectern.
All hail.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Dave,
true.
Here's another one.
Go on.
Are you, because I'm really impressed with the suit and all this image that you're giving us and all the little cheesy edits which me and Rich are going to steal, but this is a very valid, important question. Are you a clipboard man, or are you the folder with the plastic wallets in that you can put your sheets in that keep everything dry, Dave?
Clipboard man.
Oh,
I'm a clipboard man. I'm a clipboard man. But do you know what? I don't even really like the clipboard that much. And I'm not being difficult here, but for me, I get my script, say, maybe the day before, and I like to make sure I learn it as much as I can. Things change. You're both in the job. Things change all the time on match day, and you have to be adaptable to them. As long as I learn the basic bits off by heart the day before, then I can try and show a bit of personality with delivering whatever it may be. Yeah. So
people underestimate how hard it is to have, in some cases, clipboard, a microphone, a walkie-talkie, whether it's a handheld one or a little, in your ear thing, and doing all of those, using all of those at the same time, is actually, with two hands is not possible. It's just not possible. Yeah, it's an absolute mess. You've got to perfect. You might be able to perfect the holding the mic and clipboard in one hand. Because when your legends comes onto the pitch, you want to shake their hands, and you've got to hold everything here and put this down here. It's just, it's a mess. The person who develops the combined microphone and clipboard one handheld thing is going to make a fortune. And actually, I am leaving this podcast to go and design it now.
See you later, Rich.
I will
Pleasure.
see you all on Stephen Bartlett's podcast.
Yeah.
You'll have to get your Madonna mic.
Yeah.
Madonna, mate.
I know. Yeah, I've tried that. Rips your ear hole out, or I feel it leaves a dent in the side of your head for the rest of your life. Which would be the only battle scar I would have from doing it. When I can tell my grandkids that's what I did the job, and that's where I got my scars from.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I just find when you get to lectern levels, or in some cases PA rooms where you've got everything on the pling in front of you, but I'm still carrying all of my stuff, and I am running out of fingers, I swear. Yeah. But I'm not moaning, of course I'm not. Dave, let's get onto that. I know it's only been a few years, but Samik, you've had some mighty good times and interesting times whilst you've been at Ipswich. So talk to us about your favourite moments that you were there for, that you were on the mic for.
You're spot on about the journey. Promotion with Cambridge, then moving over to Ipswich after then maintaining League One, and then in the fan zone promotion from League One, Championship, Prem. Then my journey as the stadium announcer started in the Premier League, not like the end of last season, season 4, of course, now than the new one. And it's one of them where the journey to get there was just so incredible. The stadium announcer before me had COVID a few times, so I did step in quite often, maybe 6 or 7 times that season before. But my favourite moment was most definitely that first game where the job was mine. And I'll tell you for why. We're facing Liverpool at home. 22 years since the Super Blues, champions of Europe, FA Cup winners in 78, we're in the Premier League. And there's this little enthusiastic puppy having his first gig on the mic, right? And I honestly was absolutely buzzing. I had to deliver this speech, and it, word for word, I don't want to. It was quite long, but when you listen to it back, you hear. I think it was Jermaine Gina say, it was a huge speech by one of the announcers on TV, and it was about it's our time, we're back where we belong. Every fan that's worn blue and white. It was just incredible. But what was hilarious about that was Peter Crouch and Joe Cole were behind me. They were doing their TV duties. And I was sort of not so much bouncing up and down, but I was enthusiastic. I was getting ready, okay? And you're right, mate. I went, mate, we're back in the premise and really excited for today. It's going to be an incredible day. And he's like, is it your first time doing it? And I was like, no, I've done it a few times last season, but this is I'm now the stadium announcer who goes, well, don't think about the 29,000 in the crowd, mate. Think about the 500 million watching the first game of the season on TV. I was just like, okay, well, okay. Yeah. And then the bell goes and teams walk, so it was just absolutely hilarious. And, you got to laugh because, it's part of the job, right? It was just hilarious. And I don't always talk to, I don't ever really talk to the guys that are doing punditry or presenting for TV, only if I'm sort of spoken to. I'm sure you guys are the same. And it was just one of them where that whole occasion, and we didn't play that bad as well, but that first game, delivering that speech, was just amazing. It was amazing. And that memory will be forever one of my proudest. I looked up at the stands of where I used to sit when I was a boy, and thought, I've been part of these years in the Championship where, there were 16,000 coming to the games. This is the club I adore. And I'm this lucky guy who's been able to work so hard, and I mean so hard, to get to this opportunity. I don't think anything tops that, guys, when hard work pays off. Yeah. And that's why I'm so grateful. Oh, absolutely. And the team, as I've mentioned a few times already, the team at Ipswich are just a dream to work with as well. It's just incredible. But that first game was by far my favourite moment being with the club. We've had lots of up and downs, that's football. But those moments, that will forever live in my heart, for sure.
Wow. You can hear the passion in your voice, Dave. It's brilliant. The passion's there and the love. You can tell that you're a big town fan and they are your club, and that's great. When we get different people on here, the enthusiasm and the love they have, both for the job and then for the club, it's brilliant, and it's obviously pouring out of you.
Okay, it's back to the chat with our guests shortly, but first, let's take a bit of time to tell you about why we love working with Shoot Music. They are the #1 music provider to the sport DJ community, and there's no point being a great announcer if there isn't great music
to back you up on your match day. So, Shoot Music have a match day DJ service. You sign up for free and get new music sent straight to you because they know that stadium atmospheres need creating and curating. You'll get access to handy instrumental versions, crowd-pleasing remixes, and specialised DJ mixes straight to your inbox, ready for your next match day. So to sign up, email them info@shootmusic.co.uk. Feel free to let them know you heard about them here on the We Welcome Your Teams podcast. This month, the team have sent round some amazing tracks. Here are 3 of our favourites. First up, a reworking of that Grace tune. You know it, Not Over Yet, but this time round the remake comes courtesy of Paul Oakenfold and Marcus Schultz. 2 generations of trance titans colliding, and it still sounds pretty good. Next up, we've chosen a track from the new album from Hard Fight. It's called Sweating Someone Else's Fever. It is their first in 15 years. And we've chosen They Ain't Your Friends. Finally, this is the latest from Shed 7. New album coming out in January next year, and the new single has been shared from it already. This is called Stand Together. And there you have it, all tunes that were sent straight to our inbox just because we're signed up to Shoot Music's Matchday DJ service. Perfect for announcers looking for new tunes to add to their Matchday playlist or recommendations to pass on to that person in charge of Matchday music. Shoot will also support the great job announcers are doing with social media plugs and interviews with them as well. Plus, they're always looking for that next artist/club collaboration that could involve your team. And remember to see which tunes are doing the business at sports stadia around the world. Check out the Stadium Chart. There's a new one published every month. Okay, that's plenty for now about the great job Shoot Music do. Let's get you back to our guests with this episode of We Welcome Your Teams.
So that's your great, that's your best moment. Now let's go to the really meaty stuff and your most embarrassing stuff.
Okay, right.
We've built you up to let you fall.
Well, okay. Here we go.
Sit
so,
back.
yeah, right. So I'm sure you both have tried some different things in your time announcing, thinking, right, this could work. This could really, really work. And sometimes it does, and it's brilliant. And then there's times where it doesn't. Okay, so inspired by, the voice of the Etihad, Mr. Kirkley, I thought I'd give one of the 3 first names and see what the response was like. And it wasn't the smartest move from me because I didn't really make anyone aware, didn't really let any, I didn't put anything on social media beforehand. I just thought, when Jaden Philogene scores this game, I'm going to announce Jaden 3 times and see what happens. I didn't expect him to score so early on, and I think that might have been where I really went wrong. It wasn't a 91st minute winner. It might have been a 23rd minute 1-0. And I gave the first Jaden, wasn't much back. I gave the second Jaden a little bit back. I gave the third Jaden, and I reckon I got about 50% of the stadium, and it sounded quite good. The feedback afterwards, it was quite good. And I felt quite positive. Then I looked on Twitter.
Dave, never.
I know.
Twitter.
I know. This is what I learned from that one that it was probably best not to look on Twitter. And let's just say that there was some fans that thought it was quite good, and there was a lot of fans that didn't quite like it. So look, I don't regret it because you have to try to learn.
Yeah.
But it was most certainly an experience learned. Timing has to be, we all know, has to be the right time to try anything like that. The time wasn't right. Not making anyone really aware about it probably would have been a good idea. But this was, not even that long ago. So I can't even try and like flag it like that. But it was.
Well, you tried it, didn't you? And it had the same.
Yeah, we tried it for the European Games stage,
That's
the
right.
Champions League. I can say that again now. And basically, as you know, a lot of the European teams, but particularly my pal at Bayern Munich, he was really big into it, and I'd met him and watched him do it, and I thought, but you see a lot of videos, different things, don't you, of the European announcers, the Italian crazy guy that we've all seen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I thought, but I did run it by the club. I just said, listen, again, trying to try something different, a bit of engagement. Should we give it a go? And so Champions League game comes. I can't remember now because it's that long ago. We never did it again, you see. But I tried it, like goal scorer by, it wasn't Wayne Rooney, but let's just say Wayne. And I got nothing back. Right. And it was like, it wasn't like 3 times. And it was, anyway, again, Twitter, if I was unsure about whether to do it again or not, Twitter certainly put me right.
Yeah.
And I've never done it since.
Yeah,
so,
humbled, mate.
That fell flat on its face. Never to be done again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what was a really tricky one as well. That when we were in the Europa League, I think I've mentioned this, Rich. Right, have you ever been to Old Trafford, Dave?
A long time ago.
Yeah. Well, we don't have big screens. We have sort of just the sort of rectangular scoreboards, etc.
Yeah.
And so we were in a Europa League game, and what had happened is obviously UEFA had this big idea that, and they were trying it in other grounds. They would have a countdown on the screen as the teams were going to come out, 10, 9, 8. Yeah. But someone up in the office at the meeting decided, the UEFA meeting, why don't we get Alan Keegan to count it down in the stadium? And the sort of floor manager for UEFA, as you know, they're dead strict, you see. It's a different, to take over the ground. So I'm stood at the end of the tunnel. I'm waiting for the queue. And we did have a rehearsal, and I said to the guy who's running the sort of show on the night, I said, listen, it's going to be difficult to get the timing right, because you're relying on a floor manager, you're relying on TV. It never, ever goes to the second. No, it'll be fine, he said. Anyway, so I get in my ear, right, you're counting in from 3, 2, 1, go. So I start, 10, 9, down to 1. And they had it going round on the digiboards. But as I say, we haven't got a big screen. Anyway, the team walk out about 3 seconds after 1. So it looked an absolute car crash. It was a disaster, And again, anybody who was there that night or people listening or heard it, they soon let me know on Twitter what was going on, So it wasn't meant to be. So you've told us about your best moment, your first game. Is that have you got any other embarrassing ones, or is that you're still scarred from that and there's no others? Or I presume you've got wrong goal scorers and substitutions.
Not yet. Touch wood. Not yet.
Oh.
But this comes down to the team. I constantly will talk about them because they always are there to support me. Yeah, when it comes down to the team behind the team, I have a headset on and they'll tell me the numbers that will be coming off. They'll speak to the fourth official, speak to the team and just get the substitutions then and there. Goal scorer and substitutions I haven't had that problem with before. At Cambridge, multiple times because I didn't have anyone on my ear, and where the PA room was, it was right next to the dugout. And I just could not see the thing for times, the fourth official's board.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd have to try and look in and see it. But I just, sometimes you can't. But touch wood, I haven't had many embarrassing moments yet. I've had wrong decisions. We're losing 2-0 to Everton at half-time, and Fabio Wardley is coming out to talk about his latest fight, and I give him a huge introduction, like a ring announcer, Fabio Wardley, and none of the fans, the crowd went mild. We're 2-0 down, Dave. What are you doing? Right? But these are experiences you learn from. You've been there, done that, worn the T-shirt. Alan, I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm new to the job because I'm learning, but I'm learning quick. But that was a big moment a couple of seasons ago where I thought to myself, learn from that, Dave. Don't do that again. You know what I mean? 2-0 down, read that room. and read it better than you normally would.
Yeah, I mean, you're always learning, and there'll be different people with different ideas, coming into the club. There might be new people and they want to try something new in inverted commas, but, it's already been done. And I think you'll find that the longer you get into the job, there'll be new different people coming in with the, commercial side of the club or the media side. And that's part of the process. We've all been there and, different things have happened. If there's a mistake to be made, I've made it. It can, wrong substitutions, wrong goal scorers. Even now with VAR, I've called a goal, and we have a Premier League floor manager with us, and he won't get the message sometimes. And I've announced a goal scorer, and then the room at Old Trafford will then tell me it's gone to VAR. So we've all been there. We've all been there. Did you enjoy your prawn sandwich, Rich?
Yeah, nice cup of tea, mate.
No, yeah. I did actually just pop off and just start drawing up those designs for the combined microphone and clipboard, and just got carried away. I'm counting the millions already, to be honest. So,
Well, don't forget, it's 33 and a third share, by the way.
Sorry, okay, yeah. Sorry, I remember those maths for my Dragon's Den presentation.
But yeah, no, we've kept the.
I love it.
Floating,
I love it, and I know exactly where you've come back into experiences of VAR in the Prem, and something I still can't share your pain on right now. But yeah,
no. So, did you have to deal with VAR, Dave, or had you come back down by that time?
No, we had VAR. We had a good Premier League floor manager as well. It was a difficult one because I think all clubs feel the same. It doesn't feel like it always goes your way, and especially considering we didn't have the worst season that was possible, but it certainly wasn't the best in the world as well. But we had it on a big screen. I had it in the PA room. I have it on a screen there, and as soon as we see checking VAR, it was just for me to announce that we will now be checking a possible VAR. Now be checking a possible offside, and it would be the tone you have to deliver it, and that was the key thing there because if it's going our way, VAR are now checking a possible penalty. You are so tempted to go, VAR is now checking a possible penalty, but you don't. You have to just be so monotone and let the crowd do the reaction, right?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. And we haven't had this chat, Rich, but United have just got me to pre-record some VAR messages. So
it's
now,
a great shout.
Yeah, when it goes to it, it's a pre-record, and honestly, it sounds so mundane. I mean, when I was recording, they were telling me, VAR check. VAR check.
Oh,
and it's honestly, and then they play it through the stadium, and I'm listening to it thinking, wake me up. It's a real nightmare, but it is what it is. Just before you drop back in, Rich, I've got to ask, have you met your big celebrity? I think he's got shares in the club. Have you met Ed?
Look, have I met him? Yes, I have met him. Have I had a full-blown conversation with him? No. And it's because I think I've got a job to do in the club. Now, it's a bit of a weird one because when I was 15, 16, and all my mates would be going out to house parties and stuff, I used to do pub gigs on a Friday and Saturday night to earn 200 quid. And I used to sing and play guitar. Yeah. And I used to sing loads of Ed Sheeran, So obviously the enemy wants to go, love your music, mate. But you just don't, When we cross paths, I'll say, oh, yeah, and he'll go, hey, mate, you okay? Yeah, good, nice. Thanks. Yeah, and then that's it, maybe a little one of them. But, nothing more, You always want to. It's Ed Sheeran, for goodness sake. He's a global superstar. But I'm there to do a job. I'm there to focus on it. And what I find more cool is when I do a goal announcement or a shout of Blue Army, Ed Sheeran shouting it back, So that's what gives me a bit of a rush, right? That's
I never thought about it like that. I'm still yet to meet Frank Skinner. But every time he pops to the games, I guess he does react to that, doesn't he?
That's it. And like I say, it's a weird one because when people say, have you met him, it's like I haven't necessarily met him. I've said hello, but we haven't had a full-blown conversation. And to be honest with you, I think that's the best way right now. If he pulls me aside and says, Dave, great work, I'll probably cry with happiness and they go, I love your music. But until then, you know what I mean? No, it's keep it professional, don't you?
until the collabs will be on the horizon. I know there's a few. I know he had the album as the shirt front, didn't he, in the Prem? But the collabs will be down there somewhere down the line, and there will be that bit where he asks you to be in his next music video. It's just going to happen.
Mate, imagine that. I mean, he's an incredible brand, and he works so well with the club from what I know. Obviously we're the announcers. We don't get told a lot of the intel, the inside information, but I think it's transparent to see that having a global superstar like that supporting us is everything. It's brilliant.
I want to get into some of those bits and bobs of your match days. Obviously your view, so whereabouts you are on the video, you switch between pitch side and PA room. So when you're in the PA room, looks like that's a pretty good view all around Portman Road.
Yeah. So I start the whole sort of shift, if you like, on the pitch at the halfway line to do the mascots, the introductions, the team, just the generic pre-game stuff. We'll then head towards the tunnel and do the final sort of scoreboard announcements, any sort of hype video that would require me to do any speaking. That'll happen then. Then when the teams walk out, we'll let that walkout music play. We'll give a little, here you go, we're back. It's so-and-so taking on your Ipswich Town. Pyros go off. And then there'll be a bit of music. And we go through the team lineup, just the home side. We do just the home side. We used to do both, but now we just do the home team. And then after that, it's sort of a generic bit of speech from me where it's, Town fans, we're back at Portman Road. Be loud, be proud from start to finish. And then 3 big blue armies where the crowd will respond, come on the town. Then I've got to, as you mentioned earlier, sprint, right? And it's not round the corner. It's up some stairs, down the corridor, up some more stairs, take a left past Mackey's, double cheeseburger into the PA room, yeah? And then you get there, and I've got this incredible view. It's right in the corner, above the tunnel, and you can see everything. But it's perfect for what I need. We've got a TV up above us, 3 of them. One was before VAR, live stream from Town TV, so we can see the game in case anything we missed. Like if a goal goes in, it's about 3 seconds behind, so you're like straight away looking up to see who it was, which is really helpful. Yeah, really, really helpful. And it's a great view. Yeah, it's really nice, very lucky. But this is the thing, a lot of people wouldn't see that, which is why I wanted to do something on social media to show that. Because as a supporter, for me, I was always interested to know where Rob Chandler would sit, so adds a little bit more.
Rich, Dave has never announced their own goal scorer.
So far.
Yeah, so far. Give it time.
Well, there was. Cheers, boys. There was one that was a bit of a techie one. I'm sure you've all had it. An own goal, right? You think to yourself, do you want to announce the player who got the last touch? Do you want to announce the player who scored the own goal? So when that happened this season, I just went, go for Town. And it's an own goal. Right? No. The whole crowd went like, hysterics. And I thought to myself, God, why have I done that? And it was like it was mixed responses from everyone, because it was, it can be seen as disrespectful. It can be seen as comical. You see, like, I think the Crystal Palace announcer did, own the crowd responded goal 3 times. And that was really funny. Where with me, it was genuinely, I was saying the goal, looking at the screen, trying to work out who it was, and realise I'm already talking, so I've got to say something.
Yeah.
Own goal.
Wow.
Nice.
So I'd say that is like the not wrong a goal. Yeah, that has happened, and it was one that the whole club were like, I thought it was all right, and didn't like that balance.
I hope it's a record you hold on to for many seasons, because the rest of us have all fallen at a hurdle somewhere along the line.
Yeah,
touch wood.
Obviously, you're not going to say own goal, but which players do you think on your roster at the minute have the most syllable-tastic name to announce when they score?
Azor Matasiwa that's quite easy. Jens Kajust is a name that a lot of people say, Kajust. But I did have it confirmed from him at the end of the season, just, by the way, mate, you say my name perfect. And it was just a sort of a passing conversation. And it was that, people would say, I wouldn't say it like that. Another one would be Sindre Wale Egli. A lot of people say Sindre Wale Egeli. So it's, they're probably the 2 hardest names to sort of get right. But
when they score, it must be great to get your lips around.
Sindre Waller Egley. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean? That's an incredible.
Does he score many?
He scored a few this season, yeah. He scored a few this season. And, that perfect break in between. Scored by Sindre Waller Egley! Oh, crowd goes, it's like a perfect one. Because you get, your John Smith, and it's not quite the same as...
Well, yeah, it's annoying because the last video I watched, the Day in the Life video, it was Jack Clark, wasn't it? And it's similar to John Swift that I used to hate it. Obviously, I didn't, but when John Swift scored, it's really hard to give single syllable
energy. Yeah. No, it is
not like
techie.
when you've got at least 2 syllables here and there. I mean, this is the minutiae we get into on this, but it's stuff we deal with and it's stuff we work through.
Part of the job, isn't it? Yeah, 100%.
And I'm trying to think now. Last Ipswich game I watched. Have you got goal music?
We don't anymore. We used to. I believe it.
Oh right.
Yeah,
reverse that.
We haven't. In my time, it's not been there. So yeah, I couldn't tell you when it stopped, but when I used to go as a boy, there was. So, and I'm 27 now, so I think 10 years ago there might have been, but not now. The crowd do the drum, do whoa whoa, and I spoke to the drummer right before when I got given the gig and just said to him, the game plan is when we score, you go for that straight away. As soon as the crowd go Ipswich, I announce the goal. And then it works really nicely.
Yeah. Note to self, get in touch with the Albion drummer because he does sit at the back of the stick, and I'm like,
The club, I can't remember exactly what they were doing with him. I think he might have been involved in maybe the supporters club, something like that at the time. And I just thought this is something when I was watching and didn't have the gig that I can make a difference to. Because if the crowd are doing that, whilst you're announcing the goal, it gets lost. And all it does is carry out that crescendo of joy a little bit longer. Don't get me wrong, if it's, a goal where the players are rushing back to the halfway line and you've got to announce it, then you do what you've got to do. Yeah. But if it's a big celebration, knee slide, backflip and the crowd are going wild with it, it just gives that supporters after singing that and giving it a lot, that opportunity for me to announce the goal scorer and then give another one more massive yes. And I think that's why we all come to football, right? Let's not forget, guys, that our job is to make sure that even if we lose the game, the supporters have come and have had a good experience, a good day out with the family. It could be the time where the dad's taking his son to the first game and they want to remember it as a moment of joy. And it's our job, as well as everyone else within the club, but our job for the voice to make sure it's a great day out. So I always think of where can I add more joy? Where can I add more fun for the match day where it does involve my job, right?
What do your family think of you having the job?
When I got the call, asking the email asking to come in to discuss the next season, I went into the office. I used to work with my family franchise called Express with my old man. I went into his office. In fact, forget that. The first time when I got that phone call to come in and step in for that game, we were hugging each other and jumping up and down like teenagers. I think we almost broke the floor. There's a hair salon in the office below, and I think they must have thought there was an earthquake going on. They got me and my old man, and I'm 6'3", and he's quite tall and all. So they would have thought something was erupting. But when I came home and told my old man I got the job, well, mate, I know that they're extremely proud of me because they know it's what I've worked for. And I think that's just something that, we can all share. If you, as I said earlier in this podcast, you work hard, the world is your oyster. Just all, like the 3 things I live by. People say, how did you get into this? I always tell them, just be kind. Just be kind, be yourself, be honest, be confident, kind and honest. And you never know where life might take you. I was at a networking event at 6 a.m, drinking a black coffee, not on a diet or anything, I just fancied it. And and someone thought they saw something that could bring value. And if that guy Ollie Kane never took a punt on me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So yeah, the way I became an announcer was by being kind, honest, and confident, and having passion.
So that you've had So you just obviously you had your season in the Prem, you had your opening day in front of 500 million people on telly. That season you go down, you have the drama of last season in the Championship, of grabbing that automatic promotion, and next season back in the Prem. So what you looking forward to most about next season on the mic?
Great question. I think when it comes down to the Premier League, there's always that feeling like, when I stepped on to do it when I was 25, I think I must have been, you have that feeling of you're doing something that not many people across the world can do. And that feeling of joy that gives you is unbeatable. I mean, I think I saw a stat somewhere for stadium announcers, in the UK that are in the top clubs in professional football. It's like a 0.006% chance of people doing that. How lucky are we boys? Incredible.
Where did you see that stat? That's a great stat.
I think one of my mates, I think he sent it to me, and it was on like ChatGPT or something. Based on the amount of people, based on the amount of people that are in the UK, and then bear in mind there's under 100 jobs for this, for top flight football, right?
92 gigs. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's certainly an honour, but your question's a really good one and difficult to answer. What's the thing I'm looking forward to most season? I'm going to be really boring and give a really boring answer. It's probably just representing the club again. That it is. There's not a single thing that I'm most looking forward to. Beating Man United 2-1 might be on the top of my list, but
you might do that.
I can only be grateful to Ipswich because last season you were the team that helped us stay up for the second time.
You played well, mate. You played very well there.
So that draw we got with you on that Saturday lunchtime was what confirmed us staying up for the second time in that week, having stayed up, been relegated again, and then, well, not relegated, but in the bottom three, and then stayed back up again. So that will always have a special place for me as far as I'm concerned. So anything you do in the seasons to come, whenever we may meet again, do your worst. Don't care. It was worth it.
Noted.
Okay, mate. Final question for you then. What, in your opinion, makes a great stadium announcer?
It's another great question, and I think it's one that what makes a great stadium announcer. See, for me, in my experience and where I'm at, I didn't start from working for the club that I adore. But now I've got a special place for Cambridge United, and I will always keep my eye on how they get on, right? So I don't think it comes down to, because a lot of people will argue, the club you support makes you a better announcer. No. It can certainly help with the passion and enthusiasm, but if you adore doing the job, then it's kind of irrelevant in that respect. I think what makes a great stadium announcer is someone who can read a room, know the right times to deliver the right lines, know the into something, and always know that you are not the star. The club is the star. You are the voice. I think you can sometimes want to get carried away because it's so enjoyable, but it's not about you. It's always about the supporters having a brilliant day out. I mentioned it earlier in the podcast. For me, I look at my job as a stadium announcer is to deliver joy on a match day for those supporters that might be coming for their first time, that might be coming for the 50th time, so that they leave that game, win or lose, have a brilliant day. I think that's what makes a good stadium announcer. Not exactly saying myself, I've still got lots of work to do. I'm 27 years old and I'm working as hard as I can to be the best I can, to be as good as you guys. But I think the
Alan, maybe.
I think the key thing for me is that as long as I remember to stay humble, grateful, and kind, and honest, they're the foundations that can make a good stadium announcer. And I think that answers your question, if that makes sense. Yeah.
All of that. The only thing you missed out was the free Americano. Apart from that, everything else.
Smart before you dial, yeah.
Dave, thank you very much. Alan, thank you very much as well. He's turned up tonight in his Roy Keane scarf in a nod to his former captain and your former manager, Dave.
Yeah, greatest player ever. Fantastic. Well done. Dave, it's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you. Absolutely brilliant. Top draw.
Pleasure was all mine, gents. Thank you so much for your time and opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Thank you.
Up the town.
Up the town.
Up the town.
Blue Army.
So huge thanks to Dave for being on this episode, and of course to Alan for being our guest co-host as well, and to you for listening. Good luck to everybody getting ready to start the new season and everything that comes with it, and a special good luck to Dave and everyone at Ipswich. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, remember our email is hello@wewelcomeyourteams.com, and as the new season gets underway, we'll be back with more announcers for you right here on We Welcome Your Teams.